Good evening, everyone. Call the meeting, the Town of Bernardston Select Board meeting for Wednesday, April 30th, 2025 at 6:01 p.m. This meeting is being broadcast live on BNC TV and live streamed on YouTube. To find BNC TV on YouTube, go to youtube.com and search for Bernardston-Northfield Community Television. This meeting will be available for later viewing by following the link at townofbernardston.org. You can also watch channel 1075 on your Comcast dial in Bernardston. Warrants. I would entertain a motion for the payroll warrant in the amount of $63,320.42.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion, corrections, deletions, additions? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would entertain a motion for the vendor warrant in the amount of $69,069.05.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion, corrections, deletions, anything? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion for the special meeting minutes of April 14th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any corrections, deletions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would entertain a motion for the public hearing meetings of April 16th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion, corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
I would entertain a motion for the regular meeting minutes of April 16th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any corrections, deletions, additions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
You want to do the Assistant Town Clerk first?
Town clerk, okay, would you please come up?
Come on up, Sarah.
We have a special this evening.
Hello, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. All right,
All right, so
no pressure.
here to introduce my new assistant. This is Sarah Brown Anson. She started last week. And I know you guys haven't had a chance to meet her, but she is doing great. We're just,
Okay.
Nice.
So I'll let you ask her questions, or she can introduce.
You want to give us just a thumbnail of your
Sure.
background, whatever?
Yeah, so I spent almost 10 years working in the legal field as a paralegal and
Locally?
in Northampton.
Okay.
And I got my master's in public policy and administration in 2019 and wanted to, put my throw my ring in the hat in public administration and kind of make a career shift. So that's why I'm here. I'm really excited. I have a ton to learn and excited to just learn as much as I can from Chris.
Yeah.
So we actually hired you back in January?
November?
November.
I
All the way
think.
back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a baby in December. So
I see.
Yes, yeah, that's why I'm here in April.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did Chris tell you about the requirement to his employment? You have to sing a song as part of the...
No, I didn't want to scare her away.
So what have you chosen to sing?
He's
No?
totally
No.
joking.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. So where was your studying?
UMass Amherst.
Eisenberg?
No,
No,
the
they don't
School
do
of
that?
Public Policy though.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
So.
welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Are you from locally? Is that where you're from? Northampton
I grew
area?
up in Leiden.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
up there.
Which is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I should probably introduce, this is Brian Herview,
Hi.
Brian Keir, and the odd one out, Ken Bordewy.
We'll let you figure out how to spell his name.
You read for 7 days. Board week. All set? Just like it looks. Okay. Very
Okay?
good. Welcome aboard.
Yes,
Thank
well,
you very much.
well,
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Next up, the public tree hearing. In accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 87.
Call the public hearing to order.
Oh, I got to get there, no?
I have it beforehand.
Okay, I'm calling the public tree hearing to order. Would the tree warden please come forward? In accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 87, Section 3 and 4, the tree warden will conduct a public hearing to consider the removal of the following public trees. Marked roadside trees along Huckle Hill Road between 556 Huckle Hill Road and 656 Huckle Hill Road. The Bernardston Highway Department will be installing drainage infrastructure along the roadside to prevent ice buildup in the winter, and said trees need to be removed to complete the work. Any objections to their removal must be submitted in writing to the tree warden prior to or during the hearing. So I have personally gone up and looked at those trees. 13 of them, something like that, 11?
Ish.
Ish.
There's a bunch.
Okay, a bunch. Go ahead. I will now turn this meeting over to the tree warden for him to conduct the public tree hearing.
You sort of just did all the exciting part
Oh,
for
good.
me. So I think I haven't received anything in writing or by phone or any of the above, and I just checked the mailbox and there's nothing. Have you?
No, and no, there's been and no one's here present for the hearing, so it's fair to say that there's no,
Publicly noticed it in the newspaper, right?
yep.
No.
Okay.
Innocent party.
It's in your booklet, the hearing notice, right here, it's the second page.
Properly advertised.
Properly advertised,
All
yep.
said and done.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was it. If no one had anything to say about it,
That's the quickest tree
Yeah.
hearing
Yeah.
on record. Okay, then I would
I am
have,
okay with them coming down. So I guess the recommendation then is that they come down because the highway department needs to do the work. So
and
then
who's
it's all,
going to take those trees down?
we'll do it in-house.
Okay, good.
So then the next question is if you guys are okay with them coming down.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
Cool.
the motion.
Do we need
to-
a motion
Sure.
to take the trees down?
It can't hurt.
I'll make a motion to remove the marked roadside trees along Huckle Hill Road between 556 Huckle Hill Road and 656 Huckle Hill Road in Bernardston.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
And then I'll do the next part for you too, Ken, okay?
Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn the public tree hearing.
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All
Okay,
right, thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
all right.
Thank you.
Next up, we would have
Miss Jessica Atwood. Excuse me.
Jessica Atwood, Director of Planning, Franklin Regional Council of Governments, is here this evening to discuss warrant article 23 from the FRCOG Charter Amendment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
the Franklin Regional Council of Governments is both a council of governments and a regional planning agency. We've been around since 1997. Before that, we were the Franklin County Commission. We were county government. We had a similar functions. We also were a regional planning agency designated back then as well. And the founding document for creating the FRCOG in 1997 was the charter. We have not updated the charter in all that time, partially because it's a good document. But we also realize that there are things that have changed over time, lessons learned, program names have changed, and so we really need to do an update. We also have some long-term staff who will be retiring in the next few years, so now's the time to do it. We formed a committee that included actual members from the original Charter Commission back in 1997, and I was greatly admired their memories because we'd had conversations of like, why was it like this? And somebody like, oh, well, so-and-so. Amazing that people could remember that far,
Yeah.
and so that was really super helpful. So, and the Council of Governments was formed because back in the 1990s, county government was being dissolved across the state. We recognized the importance of this regional organization to our member communities, so we voluntarily dissolved and reformed as a Council of Governments. So there is a red line document that's available on our website, and also I believe we've given
Yep, it's in
copies
your
to,
packets.
to all of you, and that is the specific changes, that's kind of like similar with the zoning amendment, specific changes that are being made, and I can give you kind of a high-level overview of what those changes are. We removed references to the formation of the FRCOG. That's happened, it's done, we can remove that. We also just made kind of universal corrections of, making sure all the verb tenses are correct or any other kind of typos, fix those up, make sure it's all consistent. We've added definitions. In 1997, we were 26 towns. Now we're 25 towns in a city. So we're adding definitions like chief administrative officer and adding like that since it's not all selectmen or select boards. And also we've changed items to reflect changes over time. Back then in 97 we were less than 30 people, now we're twice that size. Back in 97 the internet and email wasn't as robust as it is now, so now we do things differently. Some of the changes, for an example, is it mentions our director of finance having a role in the Franklin County retirement system. FRCOG staff is no longer in that system, so she no longer has a role, so we're eliminating that. Another example is the executive committee. So the FRCOG is governed by a council of governments with representation from each of the 26 towns. We also have 2 regionally elected officers that's on the executive committee, We have 2 members of the council, and we have 1 appointee from the Franklin Regional Planning Board. When the charter was first being created, there was an interest in making sure that there wouldn't be more than 1 person from 1 town on the executive committee. But we've seen where we've had a long-term council member or a planning board member on the executive committee, and then we'd have a regionally elected person from the same town, so then we have to kick off the other person. So now we're saying no more than 2. So they would have to be regionally elected, which we felt like was an appropriate level of flexibility. Let's see, another example of kind of a lessons learned is we say that we're going to have our budget to the towns by February 1st. Well, one thing we've realized is that we don't get our healthcare information for the benefits and all of that and the costs until the last week of January. So there's no way we can create the budget in time. So we're saying February 15th. So it's those kinds of minor things. In Article 8 of the Charter, that's where it talks about the Regional Planning Agency. In the original charter, it had a lot of detail. It included a lot of the Mass General law citations, some of which weren't entirely correct, so we're removing those. It also had a lot of detail. The Franklin Regional Planning Board is actually a 74-seat board, and so we'd like to have it be a little bit more of a manageable size. And so we haven't dictated what that composition will be yet. We're working with the current Franklin Regional Planning Board to kind of figure out those details. So for the purposes of the charter, we're keeping that it's the Franklin Regional Planning Advisory Board. We're changing the name. We're keeping the correct Mass General law citations, also the purpose and the responsibilities, but all the details about the composition and the membership and the terms, the meeting schedule, all of that is being taken out of the charter and put into separate operating procedures specific to that board that would be approved by the council. And other things that were changed over time. For example, in that Regional Planning Agency section, it talks about the overall Economic Development Planning Program, the OEDP. That is no longer in existence. It's now the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, and it's a federal program that we work with, and they've changed how we kind of do things, so that needs to be reflected, so that's been removed. So it's those types of kind of cleanup. And another reason why, we're doing this large undertaking now is it's not an easy task, and we have the staff that are knowledgeable enough to take this on. So we're going to go to all 25 town meetings and 1 city council to have this on the warrant to be approved, hopefully, by the voters. We need a 2/3 vote to pass it at 2/3 of our member meetings. So we need 18 out of the 26 towns to approve this to ratify the amendment. We also need to file legislation because that needs to be updated at the state level. And we've been talking to our legislators about that already. So that would happen after this process. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions?
I should have timed that, but it's probably close to 5 minutes. Okay, given that, is that the speech that you'll be presenting at our annual meeting, May 17th?
You tell me. I will be there on May 17th. If you'd like me to do a quick spiel, I can do that. If you'd like me to just be there to answer questions as they come up, or if you'd like me to just sit quietly, I can do that too.
Okay,
so you tell me.
It's required that there's a 2/3 vote of the attendees of the town meeting.
Correct.
So, okay.
There will be a handout
Yep.
that the town clerk, at the door, they'll pass out. We elected the summary of the changes.
We have a
Like a
two-page.
two-pager?
The 2-pager, and so everyone will get a copy of that comes to town meeting. So that would be the reference point if you did want to say some words maybe
Okay.
about it. But maybe we should, I would recommend, just if you don't mind me saying, I think we
Please.
should recommend a blurb about it maybe beforehand. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
What,
that makes
just,
sense.
Would what she just said,
yeah.
I
you
think
feel
so.
comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if it draws questions, then
Yeah.
you can answer them. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're not going to be able to answer
Good.
them.
Right.
All right.
And I'm not going to sing. I saw what you did.
Yeah.
Well, you're not a town employee.
So,
She's still
Have you
practicing.
had any pushback from other towns on any of this? No,
We
I wouldn't think
haven't.
you
We've
would.
No,
had,
it's pretty-
questions about what's maybe something means, but we haven't had any
It
pushback.
seems pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that document going to be available, the changes for people in advance to the meeting somewhere?
It can be. It's because it's a red line document. It's I forget if it's maybe 10, 15 pages.
14 pages, I believe. Yeah. Yep.
We can make copies and have them available for the town meeting if you'd like them. The other thing is on the 2-pager, we have a QR code so people can scan it and go right to that document on our website if they'd like to.
But they could go to your website too.
Yes.
Right, and our lawyer issued Donna McNichol chimed in about this, Chris, great question, about what needed to be available or announced ahead of time. And I think she sent it to all the towns, and there's a certain thing that we have to, that'll be in the warrant that we state, so, to cover down on that very inquiry,
So it's
so.
open, so they're aware of what
Yep,
the
yep,
changes are.
I
exactly.
was trying to zoom in on the QR code. If people see it on TV, they should be able to scan it,
Okay,
or Facebook, or the recording after.
yeah. But it still needs to be available, I think, here.
It says copies of the 2025 proposed, this is from Donna McNichol, the town council, copies of the 2025 proposed amendment to the FERCog charter are available at town hall prior to the annual town meeting, and copies will be available at the annual town meeting.
Okay.
So- And the
That's-
copies of the, so I elected for the summary of changes. Does that cover that? It's not the striked out document. Is that what you're asking about?
I think we probably need the strikeouts, quite honestly, because we do with the zoning bylaws, when we have
You'd
changes
have
to
to-
the
okay.
zoning bylaws.
So I'll coordinate.
we Provide them with everything that's being struck out.
I'll coordinate that with Rebecca, and I'll get what I
Yeah,
need
just
from
let us
her.
know how
Yep,
many
okay,
we need.
that's a
So
good point.
you're requiring a 14-page document to be available for everybody that attends the annual
You
meeting?
have
Oh, we don't,
It
yeah.
says copies are, you have to have it available, people ask,
If they
at town
ask.
meeting, right,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. That
Or
just
the
seems
the
like
QR code might be suffice too, or not.
killing
Well, if
a
people
lot of
want to read it
trees.
ahead of time, that's,
Yeah, I think if we make some copies here, and then I'll keep an eye on how many are gone.
Yeah,
If anybody comes in and takes any, and then I'll just make more copies as we
Perfect.
need them.
okay.
But we do need to still have some at town meeting.
I'll take
as
care,
well.
I'll take care of that. I will.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
the 2-page summary done? Is that all set?
That's in your
Yes,
package.
It's in your packet.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, all right. So
It's
it
one
is-
of the documents in
So it
your
is that
packet.
one, okay,
Yep.
all right. And so I guess the question is, can we put this on the website, just the summary?
Yeah.
Not the, just,
I can.
and that way there, if somebody doesn't want to read 15 pages.
Or the link to the
You can just
FERCogs is
read
what,
the-
I think I'll do a
Yeah.
link to the because the
you
original
go.
documents are at the I would rather link to your.
Oh, that's
We,
fine.
we have
That's
a,
fine.
Yep.
the bit.ly
Got it.
FERCog charter.
Yep.
And so we have the 2-page summary, we have the red line version, we have it
Okay.
without the red line version, because
I will
it's
do
easier
that.
to read, so it's all
Good.
right there for people to download.
Okay, that's good.
I will add the FERCog link to the website.
Great, thank you very much.
All right,
Anything else you want to tell us about?
I'm good if you're good.
Okay.
all
perfect.
right.
Okay, I'll see
Thanks
you
so
on the
much for
17th.
coming.
Thank
Yep.
you very
Thank
much,
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, now we're back on track. We've done the tree hearing.
Go back to your calendar
Okay.
announcement.
Calendar announcements, thank you. Revised spring sports schedule. Due to low enrollment numbers, a revised spring sports schedule was published today. The new sports schedule offers a spring outdoor youth soccer, youth crossfire, pickleball for all ages, preschool t-ball, and cross-country for all ages. Details are available on the town website, including online registration and payment. Board of Health meeting, Thursday, May 1st, that would be tomorrow, at 3:30 p.m. at the Town Hall. Bernardston Historical Museum, hours of operation. The Bernardston Historical Museum will be open for the season beginning Sunday, May 4th, 2025 through October 5th, 2025 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The museum is located on the second floor and is accessible by elevator and stairs. 2025 annual town election. The annual town election will be held at the Bernardston Town Hall on Monday, May 5th, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. How's our early voting?
I think we're up to 6 people.
Seven.
Oh,
Seven.
Seven
okay.
people.
I didn't look at the sheets.
I
Good,
chatted with Pat just before she left.
good.
I
Joint,
was one of the 7.
I was too. Joint Finance Committee and Select Board meeting on Monday, May 5th at 6:30 p.m. Town Hall Select Board office. It's hopefully our last meeting of the budget season. Efficiency and Regionalization Advisory Committee meeting on Tuesday, May 6th at 5:30 p.m. at the Leiden Town Offices Building on 7 Brattleboro Road in Leiden. Joint Select Board and Recreation Commission meeting, Wednesday, May 7th at 6 p.m. at Town Hall. 2025 annual town meeting. The annual town meeting is scheduled on Saturday, May 17th at 10 a.m. at the Pioneer Valley Regional School Auditorium. We hope to see you there. We truly do. This is a very important annual meeting. There's a lot of contention over the school committee budget. So come listen to the presenters and make a decision whether you want to support that. 2025 Clean Sweep Bulky Waste Collection Day. The 2025 Clean Sweep Bulky Waste Collection Day is scheduled on Saturday, May 17th from 9 a.m. to 12, what?
Go after the town meeting, right?
Yes, absolutely. From 9 to 12 p.m. p.m.? Oh, p.m. because it's noon. At Irving Highway Garage, also at the Mohawk Trail Regional School, and also at the Whately Transfer Station. So you have 3 places you can go to bring your bulky waste. 49th Annual Gas Engine Show, Flea Market, and Craft Fair. God bless you. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 23rd through May 25th, 2025, at our Pratt Field, 257 South Street, Bernardston. That's the annual show. It's a mob scene. Get there early, spend all day. They're feeding you nicely. It's a great take. Bernardston Senior Center Open House. We had last select board meeting, we had Pam Parmakian come and talk about that. There is a handout somewhere.
There's on the website, all the events are posted, also on the bulletin board, but it starts at 9 o'clock on both days. Lots of fun-filled events.
Yep. So don't miss that either. Citizens concern, we don't see anybody. Any concerns? Okay. So new business. Unfortunate resignation of Damian Moody from the Conservation Commission. I would entertain a motion to accept the resignation of Damian Moody from the Conservation Commission effective April 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We have prepared a letter of appreciation for Damian, and it reads, Dear Damian, we met on April 30th, 2025 and accepted your resignation from the Conservation Commission with regret. We are immensely grateful for your commitment, dedication, and valuable contributions to conservation efforts, Please accept our appreciation for your service. We realize the value of our volunteers and recognize they are the backbone of this town. We are immensely grateful and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely, the Bernardston Select Board. BES usage forms. I would entertain a motion to approve the Bernardston Elementary School building use application submitted by the Bernardston Recreation Commission to use the gymnasium for the spring sports programming, volleyball, indoor soccer, and crossfire. And they're going to use the facility from Monday through Wednesday, April 28th through June 1st, 2025.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, we've seen the forms. They're properly executed by the principal of BES. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appointment of the Family and Event Planning Committee. The Select Board has identified the need for a new committee to address family and community event planning in the town of Bernardston. The committee's purpose and scope are to promote Bernardston and strengthen our community connection by hosting a variety of events and programming not to exceed at least one event per month or one event every 2 months. The committee will consist of 4 appointed members, 3 voting members, and 1 non-voting member. The committee members must be aware of and comply with Massachusetts open meeting law and state regulations regarding conflicts of interest. I would entertain a motion to appoint the following individuals as members of the Family and Community Event Planning Committee with the town of Bernardston, effective April 30th, 2025, for a 3-year term, and the positions are designated as special municipal employees. Thank you for doing that. In accordance with MGL Chapter 268A, Sections 17 and 20. The 4 individuals identified are Samantha Bacchini, correct? Pronunciation?
Yes.
Who is the chair, designated as the chair. Peter
Ciurcello.
Ciurcello, as a member, Lindsay Chircello as a member, and Karen Kelly, clerk, as a non-voting member.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your efforts in
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
that pulled together. Franklin County Cooperative Inspection Program, the so-called FCCIP contract renewal. There is a new contract agreement between the Franklin County Regional Council of Governments and the town of Bernardston for FCCIP building, plumbing, and gas wiring inspection and zoning enforcement professional services that will take effect July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. So it's a 3-year contract.
Yes.
COG assessments for the building inspection, fiscal 2025 will be $7,600. Fiscal 2026 will be $7,873. The difference being $273.
It's not bad.
Not bad. I would entertain a motion to accept the new contract agreement between the Franklin Regional Council of Governments and the town of Bernardston for cooperative inspection program services as written.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Fiscal year Creative Experience Grant Application. On April 29, 2025, the town administrator discovered a grant opportunity through the Massachusetts Cultural Council that supports the creative programming ideas stemming from the newly formed Family and Community Event Planning Committee. Municipalities can compete for up to $5,000 in funding to support creative experience programming. It is a great opportunity for the new Family and Community Event Planning Committee, who is looking to expand family-friendly, community-based events to strengthen social connections and foster inclusiveness, to go after grant financial support. With an April 30th, 2025 deadline, that's today.
Yeah.
Wow, good turnaround. The town administrator applied for the Mass Cultural Council Fiscal Year 26 Creative Experience Grant. This is not a matching grant, nor is it a reimbursement grant. So,
Perfect.
It's just $5,000 for all this new programming that we're trying to do through that new committee. So
Thanks for finding
good.
that.
I made a call. I hope that was okay. So come
Absolutely,
clean today.
positive.
All right.
Do you need a vote to that effect or not?
You should approve that we did,
Okay.
because I just applied, so you could.
I would
we
make a
still need your
motion to
approval.
ratify the town administrator's actions toward applying for this experience grant.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. What is the funding source? Is it the state?
It is the Mass Cultural Council. It's a
Okay.
state grant.
State grant,
Yeah.
great.
And it's an annual grant.
Okay.
It comes around, you can get 5,000 or 2,500, so I shot for the stars there.
Okay,
But we'll see what we get, if we get anything,
Okay.
but
great.
it'll help kick off that
Oh, yeah.
committee.
Yeah, get them some seed money.
If you don't mind me saying,
Please.
we had our first meeting on Saturday, just to form the committee.
Mhm.
But we did talk about one of our first events, and one of them, we were thinking would be movie in the park at Cushman Park. So obviously, looking at the renting the equipment and all that. So it's great to try and get some, some
Yeah.
funding for those kinds of things. And then, because we could, we might charge a fee for popcorn or something like that. But that's kind of what I'm talking about for getting money to help support our little events, just
Yeah,
to get
good.
it off the ground.
Sure.
So.
Sounds good.
Good, good. Fiscal year 26 ADA, Americans with Disability Act Project Grant. The fiscal year 26 ADA Project Grant application will be open from May 1st, 2025, that's tomorrow, to June 13th, 2025. This is an opportunity to apply for a project grant for a capital project, recreation playground equipment. Project grants of up to $250,000 will be awarded to successful applicants. If we are interested in pursuing this opportunity, the next steps would include, first, approval of the select board to apply for the grant. The fiscal year ADA project grant in Massachusetts is a reimbursable grant. This means that applicants will receive funding after submitting invoices for eligible project costs. While an initial upfront payment may be provided, the remainder of the grant will be paid on a reimbursement basis. So we front the money, they pay us
Right.
back.
And you could do it, I think, as you go, or all, just wait to do them all at the end.
Okay.
So,
The Bernardston Elementary School, so-called BES, Playground Committee will need to select a playground equipment company for an ADA compliant playground structure swings, slides, etc., all those decisions. The playground equipment company will need to provide design plans for the project. The BES Playground Committee will need to provide detailed itemized cost estimates for the project. The BES Playground Committee will need to identify and provide other sources of revenue for the project, fundraising, sponsors, donations, etc. And the town administrator will be identified as the grant administrator for the project.
So that's one way of approaching it.
Yep.
Quick turnaround, though,
Yeah.
to get all that done. Or
It's gonna
what do you
be-
have to get done?
Everything you just read.
By June 13th?
Yeah, I believe these,
Good
the
luck.
application itself is not a problem, but it's the design, the plan.
And you
So-
have part of that from a year ago that they just need to update.
Um,
When you looked into that at the school.
I know, we do have plans from a while ago, but it's too much money.
Too much money.
We don't want to put that out there. We
Yeah.
need something that's lower.
Right.
That's why I said maybe focusing on removing the spoiled playground equipment, I guess, I don't know how else to say it, but the one that's broken.
Outdated, yeah.
An effort to take that down, it opens up that space, and then maybe we just look at different swings, inclusive swings, like there's all
Mhm.
kinds of cool equipment for swinging.
Right.
But so that's why I don't know what they need. That's why I need their help with that.
Yep,
And
for
then
Can you help us identify who is on the BES Playground Committee?
yeah, we talked about it at the BES maintenance meeting today,
Oh,
but it
okay.
is Sarah, myself,
Sarah is
Gretchen,
the
the
principal.
principals, Gretchen, the facility manager, director, myself. I didn't know I was on it. I guess I'm on it.
Congratulations.
Right. I showed up to the meeting, but I didn't know I was on the committee, but I guess I am, and they're on.
Okay.
And that's good. That's
Yeah.
okay. And then PTO members,
Yep, some
parents,
teachers.
and teachers and parents.
Okay.
And they've had one meeting. So my concern is having to deal with a committee that's not really moving,
Yep.
with the time frame. We might have to, I think I'm gonna commit to work directly with Gretchen and Sarah, maybe.
This is Gretchen Licata, Sarah Bernstein.
Yeah, and just try to, and then the other thing, I don't wanna open a can of worms, but if the playground's gonna go at the school, that's where we're gonna do it, right? That's
Yeah.
one course of action, or is there another location to put it? Is Pratt
Richmond
Field an
Park.
option? And then we don't need the school's involvement. We can
Right.
get the grant and put a playground structure up at
Across
Pratt
the
Field.
street at the old,
That's what we did, that's where you would come in to
Yeah,
help
we have to
decide
figure out
that.
if that's considered permanent or not.
But I would say Plan A would be the school, just stick with the school. Plan B
There's
would
parking
maybe be
there, there's-
Pratt Field.
kids are used to going there.
There's unknowns about what's the future of the school, what's the point, but
Yeah.
again, if we look at this as the only playground for the town of Bernardston, regardless of where it's at, it's good that the town is a playground, right?
Mm.
That's kind of how I look at it,
Yes.
so, if we just get your blessing to do it, I'll work it out, and I'll keep you posted all the way through,
Okay.
I won't, if I have any questions or concerns, and we can always back out, we don't have, it's not,
That's great.
Okay.
but I think we should go for it.
I would entertain a motion to authorize the town administrator to apply for a fiscal year 26 ADA project grant on behalf of the BES Playground Committee. The budget line would be determined for the initial upfront payment. So we would need.
We'll have to talk
finance.
about, it's a reimbursable grant, so, yeah, the
We-
costs would come from the town, and we would get reimbursed, so we would have to establish a budget line for that, I
Okay.
would think.
The town administrator will be the grant administrator for the project.
But that can get set up, if we even get the grant, then we can do that part.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's good.
Yeah.
Old business, none for this meeting. Other business unknown at time of posting. Now?
Yes,
We are looking to,
you have to reappoint the Animal and Farm Building Inspector, Peter
Okay.
Shed, to a one-year term.
yeah, this is a reappoint, so he's been serving in that capacity for a few years now.
It's a one-year term,
1 year
Yeah.
term.
and it expires, it's per the state Massachusetts Department of Agriculture.
You can just read the memo.
Okay, I am writing on behalf of the Select Board to confirm your desire to be reappointed. Your appointment to the Animal and Farm Building Inspector is due to expire on 4/30/2025. That would be tonight. And Peter Shedd has checked the box saying, I do wish to serve another term as the Animal and Farm Building Inspector. He signed it and dated it today, and so we need to, I would make a motion to reappoint Peter Shedd for a one-year term to be the Animal and Farm Building Inspector.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Peter.
There you go. Other business unknown at time of posting. Employee time off request. I would entertain a motion to approve the employee time off request.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. 2025 holiday observances correction. Uh-oh. We goofed? A correction
No, I goofed.
has been made to the Independence Day holiday. It's not July 4th?
It is.
Okay. This year, the 4th of July holiday is on Friday, July 4th, 2025. Since Town Hall is closed on Fridays, the 4th of July holiday will be observed on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. So this just means that our town employees get.
Yeah, you can't give, that, the July 4th
Yeah.
is considered a holiday, and we usually give the employees a holiday, but it's
Yeah.
on a Friday, so we
If-
have
if-
to.
If it fell
I
on a
didn't catch
Saturday
it.
or Sunday, it wouldn't have been in the.
Right.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the correction of the 2025 holiday observance to recognize the 4th of July holiday on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Town administrator.
All right.
We're moving right through this. Not quite Brian Herview speed. Talk to me.
All right, I'm getting there. Okay, so I have to kind of refer to my notes.
Sure.
All right, so the Cushman Hall Committee, who consists of Donna Eddy, Ingrid Skiff, Brandon Grover, and Karen Fitzpatrick, they would like to add picnic tables and maybe a new shuffleboard and identify a location for a bench that was donated to them by the Cub Scouts. So conversations have begun with the Conservation Commission, because as you know, anything you do over there, because of the creek or the little stream, it's a wetland, has,
Yep.
you know. So conversations have started. Anyway, it was established through the Conservation Commission that adding a large concrete base, meaning a new shuffleboard, would require a filing of a notice of intent. As we know, this is a large application, right? We've done them in the past for the Cushman Park dredging project, and then most recently at the fire, the tree line at the new fire station. Anyway, if the Cushman, it's a large application, requires wetland scientists to perform the delineation and compile the application. So if the Cushman Park Hall Committee, is that the right name? Cushman Park Hall Committee? I believe that's the right name. Cushman Hall Committee, excuse me. If they decide to refurbish the existing shuffleboard, it would only require RDA, which is a request for determination of applicability. RDAs are much cheaper. Bottom line is the Cushman Hall Committee needs to decide what they're going to do here. But they need to know what their options are with the conservation piece. So they're having a meeting on May 7th at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to it, and I thought we could I thought I could talk to them about a way forward with their project. In the past, we've used Savannah, right? We've used Savannah to submit to NOI on behalf of the town. I did talk to Savannah about this. I didn't. That's all I did was talk to her about it, and she said she would be willing to submit the NOI or RDA. If it was an NOI, it would be more in the consult.
Notice of intent, RDA is again.
Is a request for determination of applicability.
Okay.
If it is an NOI, that her consulting services would come into play. If it was the RDA, an extension of her current work hours, 6 hours would be all she would need to do the project. Again, we would abide by the special municipal employee piece to this. It's, I just want to, I know we're using it, we've used it twice now. I don't know if that's if that's a bad thing or not, but, I just want to give you abreast on what's going on.
So what are they looking for? Money from us? I mean,
No, they,
have their own
Cushman,
money.
no, this is not a money thing. This is about just the special municipal employee stuff.
Okay.
No, Cushman Hall Committee
Yep.
has the money to pay, all this is gonna come out of their budget.
Okay.
This is not the money thing, it's about,
Donna Eddy, Ingrid Skiff, Brandon Grover, and who was the fourth?
Karen Fitzpatrick.
Oh, okay.
I have a question about that.
Go ahead.
One real quick though, can I finish my thought first?
Okay.
The thing is, the 4 individuals, when they met with the Conservation Commission, this was overwhelming because oh, we gotta do this, no one's talked to them about the option of using our conservation agent, if it's an RDA, or the capacity of hiring a consultant to do the work. So that's what I'm gonna talk to them about on May 7th, about what their choices are, if they decide with a new shuffleboard or if they just wanna refurbish the old one. So that's the point of the meeting on the 7th. We'll get more information and then come back to you.
It's a lot less invasive if they just pick up the old one because it's cracked.
Yeah, and just refurbish it.
And pour
But
new
they
concrete.
think, right, and I think they need to understand all that. They don't,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna slow down with them and talk it through, since we've been through it a couple times with there was an overwhelmingness, like a little frustration of, oh, how come we can't get this project done? So we're just gonna
Okay.
slow down, attend the meeting, explain it to them, and then.
You need special permitting for the picnic tables? Or is it just
no, there's another piece to picnic tables. There is, according to Savannah, but the bottom line is they have to decide what they want to do, and then we can determine a course of action, and then again, the special municipal status, depending on what way we go, the transparency with Savannah would fill out that paperwork and so on. But I think it's leaning more towards the RDA, where we would just extend her hours, approve her hours for 6 hours. She said 6 hours to do the RDA is all she would need. She would be paid her agent wage, and it would come out of the Cushman Hall Park Committee budget.
So it's roughly $150.
Yeah.
So to do picnic tables that are not permanent, we need to do that. I have a hard time believing that.
No,
Yes.
this is
It seems odd.
no, the RDA and the NOI specifically just for the shuffleboard piece.
They could
But
put
there
the
is
picnic
enough.
tables.
They can put the picnic table, but there is
Benches might be more permanent.
Right, exactly. The NOI RDA comes into play for the shuffleboard period, not the picnic tables. But there is a certain type of, I gotta ask Savannah about it. There's
Yeah.
something I
know.
didn't quite understand.
I guess I'm confused because there's benches there now.
Yes, there are.
That are permanent.
I think it's where they want to put the bench. It's where it's not benches, it's a picnic table. So people, it's about the location to the,
We should also toss Brian Miner into the conversation, just because the highway department maintains the.
I will.
the
We haven't
space.
gotten that far. I think the
Okay.
first thing for me to do is go to the meeting, help, try to get them to understand what their choice, what their options are, to the best of my ability, and then come back to you, and then we'll talk again and see where we're at, kind of
Okay.
thing.
Chris?
Chris, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just not to squash this, but I have to question the members of the committee. Brandon is not a member of the Cushman Library trustees anymore.
Correct.
So how it's supposed to work is the president of the Powers
Interesting.
Institute trustees and the president of the Cushman Library trustees, and then one other member from each of those entities voted by the members of those different committees are supposed to decide, make up the committee, the Cushman Hall Committee.
That's a good point.
So that's how those members are it's not supposed to be volunteers.
No, from my understanding, that's a great point, but I do believe when this whole conversation started, Brandon was
Okay.
still the president. That's why he's probably, it really should be Justin
Well,
Lawrence.
technically, he's not running again to be a Cushman Library trustee
know.
as of Monday.
Right, you're
So
right,
he
you're
would come off
absolutely
of
right.
this.
So, I
They-
mean, I'm not trying to throw a wrench in it by any means, but we have to make sure we have the proper people that are supposed to be doing it.
That would be a
That's a
great
great point.
idea.
Yeah,
And who are the people again that you suggested were,
You're supposed to have the president of the Powers Institute trustee,
who's that?
I don't know.
Okay,
They need to get together and meet and make a decision, I guess,
Okay.
on who's gonna be the president.
good.
And same with the trustee, the president of the Cushman Library Trustees, I believe is Justin
It
Lawrence.
is Justin Lawrence, but it was Brandon when this is how, this has been going on
Yes,
for
so
a
it's
while.
been-
That's probably
it's-
why Brandon's still involved, but,
Right,
okay.
Right. And then then each, like, the library trustees and Powers Institute trustees, they're supposed to vote on who the other member would be. So
Okay.
you have four, and this is per Cushman's will.
Good.
I will bring
How
this to their
it's
attention
supposed
at
to
that
be set
meeting on
up.
the 7th. I appreciate
Yeah.
you bringing this to
Yeah.
our attention.
Right.
Thank you.
So we need to get the Powers Institute,
Need
To-
to get together and
they need to
I'll
call a
get
meeting.
them-
their board
yeah.
members.
Because also, this is about the money in the account, so the right people definitely need to be, and again, they have money to do this. That's why they're
Right.
doing
And
it.
that's why you need the executive
Yes,
members
ma'am.
of those.
I will address that at the May
you.
7th meeting as well.
Sounds good.
But I just wanted you to be aware that this is in the background and,
So we get the right people moving,
Yeah, thank you
making
so
the
much.
decision.
Yeah.
That would be helpful, yes. Okay,
and
What
that's
else?
all I have. That was
Just
it.
that?
Yeah, just, yep, that's it.
is there anything else to come before this committee? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good
night,
night,
everybody.
thank you.
Wow, we're getting good.